Right now at noon, 1 in 5 children continue to face food insecurity in South Missouri. We'll take a look at what's being done to combat the issue.
And we've got some clouds out there, but otherwise our day is looking great. Well, look at your forecast coming up.
Plus, Neosho tunes up for its annual spring concert series.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Noe. Throughout the year, students who may be experiencing food insecurity at home can count on getting meals at school. But what about during spring break? Well, KOAM Samantha Walker has more on local efforts to make sure no child has to go hungry.
A recent report from Feeding America shows that 1 in 5 children continue to face hunger and food insecurity in Southwest Missouri. It's an issue organizations like Ozark Food Harvest know all too well, and the summertime means more stress for families struggling.
So many of those kiddos that are living with families or that are in a part of families that are food insecure have access to the free and reduced lunch program for about 9 months out of the year. And so when the summer hits, suddenly it becomes very difficult for families to figure out how are we going to cover that meal gap for the next 3 months.
It's a question school districts in Southwest Missouri frequently see families struggle with. It's why summer meal programs can be an important resource.
Because this is another option for them if they don't have this at home, that at least for the 4 weeks that we provide summer school, they can eat every day, at least Monday through Friday, 2 meals a day.
Using federal grants, area school districts in Southwest Missouri can provide breakfast and lunch to children 18 and under to ensure no one will go hungry, even if school isn't in session.
We have here in Joplin, we have a pretty high food insecure population, so it's just another option for them. You know, there are other programs that do great things, but it's just another option for them. And plus, a lot of these kiddos are comfortable in their school.
Last summer, Joplin schools served more than 55,000 meals through their summer program. In Carthage, they averaged more than 1,200 a day.
That's why we want it to be nutritionally dense as much as possible, you know, with a few fun foods thrown in there. But this may be the only meals that they get.
These meals are open for all children in the community. They don't have to be attending summer school to be able to come and leave with a full stomach.
There are no income guidelines. It's just free to all.
They can just walk in from the street and just grab a meal.
But Ozark Food Harvest says the federal program offered through area school districts is just one food resource for families this summer. They also work with other organizations across the state to make sure children have access.
ozarksfoodharvest.org/need help, and that has a listing of all of the charities spread across our 28 county service areas. So that way folks can see whether it's a food pantry, a feeding site, or a summer school feeding site, what is closest to them so that way they can get access.
Reporting in Southwest Missouri, Samantha Walker, KOAM News.
We have a list of participating programs where families can find summer meals on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Now let's check in with Chris Warner for first weather.
Yeah, so we've got ourselves a pretty decent day shaping up. A few more clouds than expected, but still plentiful sunshine at the surface, so we're looking good so far. That's, of course, our camera downtown Pittsburgh. MoDOT camera 32nd in Rangeline. Look at all of this traffic. It's a Friday lunch hour. Looking great as people hit the road. Yesterday, another well below normal day. Our lows they've been below normal, but not too far off pace. It's been our highs. That's not going to be the case for us today. We're going to be a lot closer to that 81. In fact, we're already at 71 in Joplin, 70 in Pittsburgh, and temperatures around the region. I got a couple of cool spots here. We got Stockton, Monette, Iola, Bella Vista into the 60s. Everyone else in the low to mid 70s already. Mid 70s on average for highs. Some of us may be upper 70s. Skies will continue to clear through the evening. Back down to the low 60s by 11 with some patchy fog possible overnight. Now, our day today looks great. The first half of our Saturday looks great, but we still have some storm chances tomorrow, and we have those storm chances next week as well. Details here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, Neosho struck a chord with its Big Spring Park free concert series last night. Visitors enjoy the orchestral folk stylings of Molly Healy. Now, due to the recent rains, last night's concert moved indoors to the Neosho Newton County Library. Now, if the weather cooperates, the next concert will be outdoors at Big Spring Park and is set for June 21st. It's the Americana indie rock band Dandelion Heart. Well, one sure sign that summer is just around the corner is the opening of community splash pads, pools, and aquatic centers. And today is the day for some area communities. Chillier temps postponed the opening of the Miami pool and splash pad, but both plan to open their doors today. And the same goes for the Joplin Aquatic Center and Water Fun Centers in Pittsburgh. Well, warmer, drier weather could send more boaters and fishermen to the lake this weekend. But on Table Rock, they'll face floating and unseen dangers in the water. Reagan DeTrillo has the report.
I've seen quite a bit of damage, really.
Ron Hedgepeth has been boating for 45 years. He says if you're planning to go out on the water this coming weekend, be cautious and watch out for floating limbs and other storm debris.
Pay attention, wear your life jackets preferably, and just don't get in a hurry.
Right now we're just experiencing some pretty high flood levels. There's quite a bit of debris in the water, but those are mostly in the coves. Out in the open water down more towards Hideaway, our other marina, that water is pretty good. Maybe a little murky, but not as much debris for sure.
Macy Barton works on the dock at the marina and says they are thankful the weather damage isn't as bad this year as it was last year.
This dock behind me, A dock, was wooden last year, so it was a lot lighter than the rest of our other docks, which are concrete. So when we had a storm come through pretty suddenly, it flipped this dock, so about halfway through it was all flipped over upside down in the water.
With a new dock and crews cleaning up debris from this year's floods, the marina is up and running for the coming weekend.
Our fuel dock is going to be fully operational. You can still come in. I would just recommend once you get into our little cove here, drive a little slower. You should be able to see the logs in the water.
It's still dangerous, but if you don't overdo it, you should be all right.
Now, they've since fixed that dock, and now crews are just working on picking up floating limbs from the water. Coming up, tech billionaire Elon Musk leaves his official White House post. We'll hear more on his differences of opinion with the administration. And later, we're making lemon caper fish fillets in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. Well, big changes are coming to the way we spend our change. The U.S. Treasury has announced it will stop manufacturing pennies starting early 2026. According to the U.S. Mint, it now costs nearly 4 times more than a penny's value just to mint and distribute it. Now, we spoke with the local coin collector from In God We Trust LLC in Mindamines, who says while it makes sense to stop making sense, that doesn't mean the penny will vanish completely.
So I'm encouraging people to recirculate their modern American coinage, particularly when they do transactions through the window of the car, when you pull up to the coffee shop or to the fast food place. Pay for those items with loose change. Not only how they balance their till at the end of the evening, it's how people get tips.
According to Newsweek, due to the cost of zinc, the government lost over $85 million in 2024 by producing about 3 billion pennies. A federal appeals court temporarily preserves many of President Trump's sweeping tariffs while the legal challenge continues to play out in court. Now, the whiplash comes as the president's close advisor, Elon Musk, leaves his role today overseeing DOGE, the administration's Department of Government Efficiency. Natalie Brand has the latest from the White House.
President Trump is set to appear alongside Elon Musk in the Oval Office as the tech billionaire leaves his official post advising the administration's Department of Government Efficiency. While the White House says he's departing on good terms and will continue to serve as an unofficial advisor, in an interview with CBS Sunday Morning, Musk revealed there were differences of opinion.
It's difficult for me to bring that up in an interview because then it creates a bone of contention. I don't want to, speak out against the administration, but I don't want to. I also don't want to take responsibility for everything the administration is doing.
Musk's time as a special government employee led to the layoffs of tens of thousands of federal workers and massive restructuring of agencies. CBS Sunday Morning's David Pogue sat down with Musk inside the SpaceX factory, where the billionaire said he will be putting more time back into his companies.
He was trying to make clear to the public that he's out of Washington. Another way to look at it is he was doing sort of a reputational repair tour of the media.
Musk has also publicly stated he's an advocate for free trade and lower tariffs, at odds with the president's sweeping tariff strategy now tied up in court. In a new ruling, a federal appeals court is allowing the president's tariffs enacted through the International Emergency Economic Powers Act to stay in place while legal challenges continue. Analysts say the whiplash could undermine ongoing negotiations with trading partners. U.S. Trade Representative Jamison Greer maintains talks are continuing.
All the other countries I'm dealing with in negotiations are treating this as just kind of a bump in the road rather than any fundamental change. So I feel pretty confident about the case.
The administration expects the case could reach the U.S. Supreme Court. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
Still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
Want to make fast food for dinner? I've got just the dish to help you out. And it has nothing to do with a drive-through restaurant. Nothing.
And even though we've got a great Friday and a pretty decent first half of our Saturday, we are tracking thunderstorm chances, the latest when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So we got, again, a nice Friday. I just keep saying that, I know, but it's really one of the nicest days we've had in the last about week and a half or so. Still have some clouds out there, but not enough to stop the sunshine from getting through, as you can see from downtown Pittsburgh. And as we go down the road, our forecast today still just calls for some clouds here and there, and skies eventually clearing as we go into the late night and overnight hours as well, which could lead to some patchy fog late tonight into tomorrow morning. So just a heads up on that. Winds will be calm overnight, and as we head into Saturday, they're going to begin to shift out of the south and southwest eventually, and for some out of the west, as we have a high pressure off to our southeast, and that's going to bring in warm, moist air. That's what we need for thunderstorms, and that's what we're going to be set up with. I mean, take a look at noon tomorrow. We're in the low 70s now for many of us, and by noon tomorrow, we are going to be near 80 for many of us. So that's just kind of setting the stage. Now, on to the future track, we're looking at those pop-up storm chances, and that's the thing that's going to be a little more complicated as we roll into the afternoon hours. So say after 2, 3 o'clock tomorrow, these are going to be pop-up storms. So initially they'll be fairly isolated, but you're going to have to get the KOAM Skywatch weather app and just monitor the sky. Keep an eye to the sky, really, especially if you're outdoors, because these storms, some of these initial storms that pop up could be strong to low-grade severe, especially in our western counties as we head later into the evening. So here we are at 7. Got a couple of these storms around Nevada and did the northwest of Lamar, and then we've got a few more working into our western counties in southeast Kansas. By 9, those storms continue to develop and spread as they'll roll eastward across the area, and then we could see a few more scattered storms develop late night Saturday and the very early Sunday morning. And then these, by about 2, 3 a.m., will exit the area, and our Sunday is looking fantastic as well. Once we go into the afternoon, partly cloudy skies, a hair cooler by noon on Sunday, but temperature still climbing into the 80s. So here's what we're looking at with that possibility of those storms tomorrow. We do have a level, basically a level 1 out of 5 risk here. So we're talking isolated hail up to quarter size, and this is very far western counties here. And then we do have this wind risk that goes a little further to the east. That's going to be for 50, 60 mile an hour wind gusts with some of those storms as they develop tomorrow, late afternoon into the evening hours out there. So something you want to keep a close eye on, especially if you're heading out, because I know we couldn't head out anywhere this past weekend. So again, today, most of us mid-70s. I have those clouds out there, but they'll continue to clear, and we'll be back into the low to mid-50s. Calm winds, and as I mentioned, some of that patchy fog will be possible. Rolling into tomorrow, low 80s, maybe even some mid-80s. Again, watching those storm chances as we head into the afternoon and evening, and for most of us, a west breeze at around 5 to 10 with that high pressure. Now, we got some things to talk about next week real quick. By late Monday into very early Tuesday, we could get some showers and thunderstorms. This is one of those iffy situations, at least right now, but it is something we're watching, because if we get them, what's going to happen by Monday is we'll have energy in place. There's just questions as to whether or not that spark will be in place to start any thunderstorm activity. If the spark does happen, we could get some strong to low-grade severe thunderstorms. But those risks begin to increase a bit as we roll into Tuesday and we start looking at more showers and thunderstorms. And remember, on the future track here, it's showing where rain could be, not where necessarily it's going to be everywhere, but storms from Tuesday afternoon rather, into the evening and overnight hours could be strong to severe. And that's why for Tuesday, we still have this risk area from along and west of the 69 corridor where we could see those storms. So again, rolling into Tuesday and honestly through Friday of next week, we do want to keep an eye on those thunderstorm chances because again, we're kind of getting those hints that we could see some strong to severe storms. Temperatures Tuesday, by the way, hot too, helping to bring in fuel into the upper 80s, near 90.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, stick around. We're making lemon caper fish fillets in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Here's Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I know I've said it before, but I'll say it again. Fish is the ultimate fast food. And when I say fast food, I'm not talking about the stuff you pick up at the drive-thru. I'm talking about foods that cook really fast. So let me share with you a fresh tasting skillet dish I think you'll love. To give this a bright, sunny taste, we start by combining some lemon juice, olive oil, chopped shallots, a bit of salt and pepper, and a spoonful of capers. And if you're not familiar with capers, they're actually little flower buds. When they're picked, they're extremely bitter, but when pickled, they mellow and add just the right amount of wow to practically any dish. Okay, now we pan fry some fresh cod or haddock that we've seasoned with a bit of salt and pepper. This takes about 4 minutes aside. Once the fish flakes easily, we spoon the lemon mixture over it, along with some chopped chives. There you go, a protein-packed main dish that's on the table in less than 15 minutes. And as for the taste, the sauce adds a breath of sunshine thanks to the combination of the lemon juice and the capers. To get the recipe for our lemon caper fish fillets, all you have to do is head to our website. If only all meals could be this simple. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a super fast way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, so again, not a bad day today. Low 80s through the weekend. Some of those evening thunderstorms and afternoon thunderstorms tomorrow could be strong, so we want to watch that. And then watching a severe threat as we roll into Tuesday through next Friday.
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, coming up tonight at 5, new data from the American Cancer Society shows the number of survivors is growing. We'll take a look at how physical activity can help. Plus, an update on the Carthage Humane Society as it continues some issues with the city. And we'll visit Verona, Missouri as they kick off the 2nd annual Spring River Pioneer Days. You can join us for those stories and more on KOAM News at 5. Now, just a quick heads up to our viewers. Due to tower maintenance, KOAM TV, Fox CW, and MeTV plans to temporarily be off the air today starting at 12:45 p.m. Now, we do apologize for the interruption, and our engineers will have us back on the air as soon as the work is complete. And we'll also can stay up to date with us on the KOAM Plus TV streaming app and our website as well. And that's the news for now. Have a great rest of your day.